Hello peoples! In today's video we are using a 600i to run some VHRT missions. Just like in the Drake Corsair video, I have two different builds, one with an all energy weapon build and the other with a ballistic build to see which one is better to use. So taking a look at the Erkul link here, you can see that I have the default laser cannons, which are the M7As. I've changed out the missiles to some IR missiles for testing, as well as upgraded the shields and quantum drive. Now there's no reason to upgrade the shields or the quantum drive. The default will work. I just happen to have some extra stuff lying around, so I decided to use it. Next, later on in the video, we will use some ballistic gatlings in the form of the AD5B to test and see how they work. As always, a link to the two different builds for Erkul will be in the video description below. If you want to try them out, click on the links, build it up yourself, come back here, let me know what you think. For now, sit back, relax, grab yourself a snack and a tasty beverage, and let's get to it. So in our VHRT mission, we have a standard set of targets, which is going to be a Hurricane Valkyrie and two Wardens. Not ideal for a 600i solo, but it's going to work. What I'm going to do is use my Chaos missiles and target the Hurricane because it's the greater threat. I'm also going to start back strafing here because I want to keep those targets at range. I'm going to fire off two volleys, hopefully try to cripple that Hurricane. Not really successful in crippling it, but I do manage to damage it. So I switch over to my cannons and start pounding away. Here we can see the high DPS on the cannons is definitely going to make short work of this Hurricane. And despite the fact that he's able to avoid a couple of my rounds, I'm able to take it out fairly quickly before it can do any major damage. Now I'm going to switch back over. I was thinking about going for the Warden, but the Valkyrie was a little bit closer, so I decided to go for it. We're going to use our cannons again. No need to go to missiles on this. The Valkyrie is a pretty large target, and you generally don't have a problem missing it with cannons or anything like that, despite the slow projectile speed. So we're going to work down the Valkyrie here. It's not going to take too much to be able to neutralize it and take it out. A couple more well-placed cannon shots, and he goes boom. Now notice my shields are taking a couple hits. That's from the two Wardens, but the 600i has more than enough shield power to be able to tank that for the time it's going to take to remove these last two threats. Biggest problem that you're going to have here is trying to hit the Wardens. They're a little bit more maneuverable than the Valkyries, obviously, but again, a couple well-placed shots and you will be able to take them out. A big thing here is back strafing and trying to keep those Valkyries in front of you. So far the performance of the cannons is pretty good. It's pretty high DPS per round, so you don't have to hit a lot, but you do have to hit. If you're constantly missing, then I would say the cannon build is not for you. You have plenty of power to be able to keep those cannons going. As you can see, we've got a total of 20 rounds in our capacitor, and we are applying max shields at this point. So I'm able to get my shields back up, even though the Warden did a pretty good job at pulling that front shield down, and of course we've taken out that last target. So the cannon build pretty good. Don't have any problems with it. If you're doing extended missions back to back, definitely go with an energy based build, but the next build I'm going to show you, obviously with the ballistic gatlings, is going to be a much funner build. Alright, in our next VHRT we draw two Valkyries and a Reclaimer as targets. Obviously these targets are going to play to the strengths of a ballistic build 600i. I am going to test out my missiles setup here and see exactly how many Chaos 3 missiles it takes to take out a Valkyrie. We all know that Valkyries are a little tanky in these VHRT missions. So I'm going to fire off two volleys of 4. I do like the Chaos missiles so far. They seem to be a missile that consistently will lock onto the target at range, track the target, and they do a decent amount of damage when they hit. As you can see here, after the second volley of missiles, we destroyed the Valkyrie outright. This holds true regardless of whether or not the target is a Hurricane or a Valkyrie, the Chaos missiles seem to be doing a really good job at destroying targets so far. So we're going to rinse and repeat here. We fired off one volley on the second target, and we're going to fire that up with another one. And as you can see here, the Valkyrie goes pop. So that just leaves the Reclaimer. Now, my shields are already taking fire from the Reclaimer, but with a Gatling ballistic build, particularly using the AD5B, this Reclaimer is not going to last very long. As you can see, I'm still getting that weird kind of bursty pattern on the Gatlings, so looks like it has something to do with using the actual AD5B and not necessarily server lag. But the result is still the same. The amount of damage that they put out is consistent, and it doesn't take very long for the Reclaimer to go pop. So I'm going to remove this piece of space trash out at the end here, and now I think what we're going to do is just find out what you guys think. So for me, personally, I think the ballistic build is a better build. You seem to kill targets a lot faster. Now, you have to weigh that with the fact that you have to go in and rearm every so often. You do have a pretty decent amount of ammunition, though, with the ballistic Gatlings. So let me know what you think. Do you guys like the 600i? Do you guys use the 600i? Do you like the ballistic build or the laser cannon build? Or do you just hate it in general? All that good stuff. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you liked the video, and I hope you did, hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification to see future videos. And as always, till next time, take care.